So far, we've created a new project. We defined a little project outline of what we want to do, and we've hosted the code on GitHub. The goal of this episode would be to set up automatic deployments on Google Play Store. Hi friends, my name is Joff and this is Test-Driven Development Screencast. So let's see what happened meanwhile. Here is the project outline that we've defined. Most probably I'm gonna put this in the readme of the project, and then as I go I'm gonna be changing it. But I would like to show first where we ended up last time and what happened meanwhile. So last time we had problems with the tests running script, and basically I took a closer look at the problem and I realized that the error was saying that the Android Gradle plugin required Java 11, but I was using Java 8. So what I've done in the script that is running the tests, oops, that's not what I wanted to open. Here is what I wanted to open. I have renamed the step from setup JDK 1.8 to, I mean, the name doesn't matter, it's just updated, and here is the important update. And I've also updated the command to run the tests. So let's actually go quickly over the changes that I've done meanwhile. So this commit was the last that I've done in the previous episode. So let's see what actually changed. I failed recording the entire process. It was just my failure, so I'm not gonna undo everything. I'm just gonna present what I've done. So here is the change basically. Initially I've removed I didn't want to run the tests when I push in the main branch, because I would like to forbid pushing to main branch directly. Everything should be through pull requests. But as I realized later, I'll still need that. I'll do that later. And as I said, I updated to Java 11, and of course I've also had to update because I've updated the Android Studio. I'm using Canary. I used to have the 5th version before. I've updated to the latest just before starting to record this episode. So yeah, everything I got update on the plugin and the Gradle version. Then I've also updated the git ignore file. Basically, from in the previous episode, a person that I certainly appreciate a lot, ex-colleague of mine, Martins, so shout out to him. He pointed out that in the idea folder, there is, for example, a very important thing is that idea keeps the code styles, for example, in the idea folder, and that's something that we might share across, especially if somebody wants to contribute. So that was really a good one. And also to include the AAB file extension next to the APK, because we are gonna work with bundles, so it makes sense to ignore the AAB as well. Other than that, everything is fine. I mean, as it used to be. Another thing that I added here was the logging for the tests. So basically, when I run the tests, locally I can see everything is fine. But when I run the tests on GitHub action, I want to see which ones failed. I don't know of better. I mean, there should be a better way to get a test report, but I'm not aware yet, because this is the first time I'm using GitHub Actions. Before I was using Bitrise, and Bitrise has a really good setup and it's free till certain extent. But because I don't know GitHub and it comes into convenience, I wanted to learn more about this. So suggestions are pretty welcome. So yeah, I might come up with something later, but this is good for a start. And then I also As I said, I put back the pushes to main branch for now, at least, because I think I'm gonna need it for a while still. And then also I've updated the command to run the tests. So that's about what has changed. And now if the idea is to actually make the deployments work. So first, yeah, as you can see here, it happened 12 minutes ago. All the tests are working, and here in the logs, just for the sake of, you know, for the sake of showing, I can just show here that this is how we are gonna see the tests, the test reports. If there is any failure, it's gonna show here. So everything works as it should, as intended. So now it's time to work on creating a new app and hosting it on GitHub, on Play Store, sorry. So first of all, here I'll open the build Gradle, and here in terms of making releases, so first of all, let's turn this to true and make sure to commit that one. I don't know what's this. Okay, I'll just commit that one, but as a separate commit. So enable minifying for release builds. Let's delete for now that thing. I don't know what it is. Cool. So now let's see. I think first we have to come up with a signature configuration. So I have defined in my environment variables the path to my Keystore and the Keystore password, as well as the alias and the alias password for this project. That's something that I've done off camera because those are secure things, but I think we can start working on the setup here, because we should be able to create signed bundle from the terminal, and there is a command for that. So first of all, let's do here. I think we can start with signing config. It might have been better to maybe use the Kotlin script instead of the Groovy script. I haven't seen how it works lately, but the last time I've tried it still had lots of problems, like compilation issues and stuff, so I just went with Groovy. So here we need a release. So as I said, there should be store file, and I have it as a file here. System get env, and then it should be home plus it lives in Keystores, and I think that's the name. Let's reformat. That's the store file. Then I think I need the store password, which should be oops, I don't, this equals, I think I don't need them, so it should be system get environment variable, which is Keystore password. Nope. Key alias should be system env friends key alias, and then think key password should be friends key password. And then last step, I think it's important to have the signing configs on like before the build type here, because I think if we define it afterwards, it won't be able to find it. That's how Gradle this script works. So here we have to do signing config, and that's gonna be signing config release. Okay. And now I think I just have to sync. Okay, we have a problem. I have no clue what this is saying. Let's try to clean first. Maybe I have a typo somewhere. So it's release store file and store password, then key alias and key password. Release, and then build types, release. I'm not sure if this is actually making the whole thing a problem. Oh, here is a type, I think. Yeah. That's probably what went wrong. And now I think here what we could do is we could do Gradle bundle release. Let's see what's wrong. Okay, I think I miss a slash here. Okay. Because my keystore clearly is there. Now it's gonna work. Let's check that in meanwhile. I'm gonna say defined signing configuration for define signing configuration. That's it. Cool. And now I think release. Okay, it's not there. Where it is storing it? I'm wondering. So I think maybe it's in the build output bundle. Here it is. So I'm just gonna copy the app. Oops. Copy the app build. Oops. Wait. Yeah. Build output bundle release app release, and then I'm gonna just paste it on my desktop. And next, let's go ahead and create here an app. It's gonna be called Friends. This is the Google Play console, and so far I've created one app, which is important because in order to make the automated deployments, there is a little setup that we'll have to do, and that's per account. I think we can reuse something that I've defined before, but I'm gonna go through the steps and define. So it's gonna be an app, free, and then I confirm, create. But anyway, the first deployment, whenever we create new app, has to be done manually. It's like, I think it's not possible to use any API like or any other system to use that uses the API in order to make the releases. So let's say, I think, go into internal testing, create new release. And then here, if I go to my desktop, I can select my AAB, and now it should upload that one. Release name should be initial app release. There we go. And then here I think we can just put something like the initial release of the Friends app. Cool. Save. And now I can review the release. Let's see what's the warning. Yes, we haven't specified any testers. So if any one of you wants to be part of the testers, just throw to me your email address and I'm just gonna add you there. And I'm gonna add myself definitely. So let's first add some testers here. Yep. So I have already some groups defined. Just, I don't know, internal testing, I guess. Yes. And yeah, if somebody wants to, just let me know. I think, let me see which emails are here. Yes, my email is there. Yeah, if you want like more secure, just throw me your email on this one. So I'm just gonna enroll you as well. Cool. Save changes. And now back to my release, which is still in draft. review. There is no more warning, and then start rollout to internal testing. This release will be available to your internal testers. Cool, so that's our first rollout. And from now on, we can start using a continuous delivery system to do that. So important thing that I wanted to point out first, in order to use the continuous delivery system, all of them need a signature, which is in a JSON format, in order to be able to publish, to use the API to publish applications for you. So how to set that up? If you go outside of all the apps, and if you go into the settings here, so then you go into API access, I guess. So here it is, something that I already have created before, and that's sufficient. But if you haven't created any, or if you want to create separate one, this super hidden button, because it's gray here, create new service account, will let you do that. So basically you'll have to go to the Google Cloud Platform here first. Hope you can see that. And here you will have to create new service account. And once you defined everything here, it will let you download a JSON file. And that JSON file is very important because you cannot re-download afterwards. For example, for this one, I think I cannot download new one, which is very important. So you have to make sure that you have, you keep that secretly. And then once you have it here, you'll see the access, and then you can do, you can make sure it is linked. So basically I can add here also the friends. And now I have to also give permissions. So now important part is the release here. So release, these are permissions that key already has. So I'm just gonna apply that. So basically I can reuse the same, this key in order to make releases for the friends app. So if I just save the changes, are you sure you want to update? Yes. Cool. Now it's active. That's about it. Now the question is, in Bitrace, for example, you can put that JSON file and your AP, sort of the Keystore, where you have set your keys and stuff. You can put the actual files there. However, on GitHub, you cannot host files. And then how do we set up the secrets then? If you go in the settings of the project, and if you go in the secrets, here I have already done that for us. So that the key alias, the password, and the Keystore password, they are all text, which is fine. Now the JSON that I'm talking about, the Google Services API, that's the JSON that comes into that form, is also a text file. It's a JSON, right? So we can also just, by creating new repository, I think I demonstrated how to do that in a previous episode. So you can just put the content of that JSON and you're good to go. But next, I think the Android Keystore is the important one. So how do we do that? Basically, there is something that you can do. If I'll open my... I'm just thinking what's the best way to show it. So I'll open... Let's see. I'll open the project outline, I guess, here, and I'm just gonna paste the command here so you can see it. So basically we can use OpenSSL base 64 in order to to take actually the to convert the Keystore in a way, not to convert, but basically it's something like that. So using OpenSSL base 64, this is the command. So here is your Keystore, and then you here define some file. I mean, it's not an existent file. You just type something .txt, and then it's gonna put an encrypted version of your Keystore into this file, and then you can copy the content of that file, whatever is gonna come into the my Keystore base 64.txt, all the content of that, you will put as a environment variable here, and that's how you can actually do that. And next would be to define here in the workflows. I'm just gonna define a new file. Deploy YAML, and then I'll do that myself, no worries. And then I think I have it already prepared here. I mean, it's copied from somewhere, but we can go through the steps and see. So what's gonna be happening is, like, the name is publish. Now on push to main, basically, maybe I think it asks for like that. So first, test and distribute is the job. Set up JDK. I think I need JDK 11. So again, JDK 11, assemble, release bundle. This is the same command that we have executed on the command line. Now, next we have to sign the release, and this is something that I'm using for signing. And here we have to also define this is something that comes from the actual I don't know how they are called. Are they called steps or jobs, whatever? So from this job, so I think the release is gonna be there. So it's important to have this one. So Android Keystore is something that we have defined here. So in the secrets, Android Keystore should match with the secrets.android Keystore. And then the signing base 64, then the alias would be the Keystore alias. I think now I have to update this to friends key alias. Then a Keystore password, Android Keystore password. That's the same, and then the key password is the friends key password, like that. And then create service account.json. This is the one. So it's just gonna copy that content into itself. So this is only in the phase of running this job. So because after the job is run, everything vanishes. And then deploy to alpha. So I think let's make sure here where we have all apps. So this is internal. Release overview. Okay, I think I'll have to also set up some of the basic application info. I have to set up in order to be able to release, but yeah, that's something irrelevant. I'm just gonna do that somewhere else. Like here in the store presence, I'll have to, you know, these are all important things that I have to do before before being able to ship anything. before the application gets live on Play Store. But I think I'm just gonna do that off camera. It doesn't really, it's not something very important. But let's go back to our release overview. I think here I am adding into, we are working with the internal testing. So maybe I'll have to define the alpha track myself. But let's see. The track alpha. And I think the package name here is important. So instead of this, it should be friends. Because that's our package name here. And actually the Google Play Store uses this package name as app identifier, so it's important to be to have that set correctly. And then important point is the what's new directory. So first of all, here in the root of the project, I'll create a what's new directory. And then inside, I think I'll need to create, there was something specific, let me find it. It should be named, the format of the name should be what's new, oh no, what's new dash, and then the language should be also specified with this format. It could be just a text file, doesn't really matter, or maybe it matters. And then here we can put our release notes for each release. That's something important. So let's say and then let's see if everything now is wired up and if it works. If I open my thing here, okay, created or defined deployment script. Now I'll just push this one. And now let's see how it is going to run. So this is gonna run tests, and this is the publishing one, the one that we are interested in. So maybe, yeah, as I said, maybe because I'm missing some information there in the Play Store, this is not gonna pass. But another thing that makes me, I think it's not gonna pass, is that I did not bump the version code, and I haven't had anything in the script that will bump the version code for me. That's something that I can configure as well. If you have ideas, please share with me, because I'm really new into the GitHub Actions. I'm not aware of all the goodies out there. If I have a good one, it would be great if I can base on my tags. For example, I'm just gonna create tags and then something that might read my tag and then get the version code based on my tag. I know that I can just use as version code the current run of the Git action. For example, it has account number or something, and then the version code is important to be increased. So I think that's gonna work as well. might be simple enough to, maybe I can just use that one, but just throw on me ideas. I'm really happy to hear more. But yeah, it's essential for me to get all these steps first set up, and then start working on the actual code. Otherwise it wouldn't make much sense for me. Okay, let's see what failed. So it turns out that I don't need to have a signature in order to bundle a release. So I can actually make that bundle and afterwards sign it. And if I open the build Gradle, oops, well, I don't have to open the build Gradle. Basically, I had to delete the signature configuration from here because here it is. So I just deleted the signature configuration because this is useful when I'm running locally, or if I have, for example, if I have a bitrate setup, and if I just run the command, it might be useful there, because there I can actually set this environment and everything. But for my current setup that I'm using this step here that is called let me see. It is called sign and release. It doesn't need it. So basically you can just bundle release, and then this thing here is gonna sign the release. So what I've done, I did that. I removed the signature and then changed because as I thought initially, I had to create the alpha manually, but instead of creating alpha, I just thought maybe we can just use the internal. I don't see why not. So I just changed that to internal, and everything started to work. So basically in the here, what's the failure indeed is, now it says that the APK specifies a version code that has already been used, because I haven't actually updated the version code in my build Gradle, and I'm gonna leave that for the next episode. I think for this one, this is completely enough. So throw on me ideas. How would you do this? Are you gonna use the actual run of the GitHub, or are you gonna base it on tags? How would you do that? I would like to learn more, and what's gonna be your approach. I think, but yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that for the next episode, and most probably we'll have to set up next episode how to run a Firebase setup to run the UI tests, and that's gonna be the complete setup before we start working on the actual code. So thank you so much for the attention and for watching. I'm gonna catch you in the next episode. Bye bye.